everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for a new video. I love taking cute critter sets and turning them into adorable scenes, and that's what we're going to be doing today with Mama Elephant's Rainy Days stamp set and Raindrops cover plate. I have all these products on my desk and we're ready to start creating our scene by starting with the stamped images. I've picked out an assortment of pieces. Some of them I decided not to use in the final project. I wasn't really sure which umbrella I wanted for each critter, so I stamped an extra one just in case. To stamp my images, I'm using Simon Says Stamp 120-pound white cardstock as my base, and then the ink is Simon Says Stamp Intense Black. This gives me a really nice crisp impression, and I can use this for Copic coloring. I'm using Copic markers to color my images, and I want to use a nice bright assortment of colors because these critters are going to go on a darker background. We're of course creating a rainy scene, so I want some dramatic colors behind these critters, and having the brighter colors will help them stand out. If you're interested in any of the Copic colors that I did use today, I have them linked below in the video description as well as on the blog, along with all the other products that I'm using as well. These critters are super easy to color. I love their cute little jackets. The fun bunny, the little kitty cat, and the duck or bird, whichever you want it to be, I think is adorable. I colored it yellow to go well with the raincoat that the kitty cat is wearing. I like coloring critters with neutral colors for the most part, which I did for the bunny and the cat, but because this little chick or duck is just too cute and I wanted him to stand out a little bit more, I used a bright yellow for him. All of the umbrellas are shaded with some bright colors as well that matches the raincoats, but I did use a simple brown to color in the handles of each of the umbrellas, which gives them a neutral appearance and ties in with the neutral colors of the animals. So once I have all my coloring complete, we're ready to die cut. I have the coordinating dies, and I'm using Simon Says Stamp very low tack tape to hold these in place while I die cut them all. I'll run this through my die cut machine, and then once I have cut them out, I'll just pop them out of the die cuts, and you can see how easily they remove from the tape. Speaking of die cutting, I also cut out that Raindrops cover plate, and I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Place and Pierce tool to poke out all the little raindrops that still remained in the die cut panel. I'm going to color this with Simon Says Stamp inks using the colors you see on screen, and we're going to create a bright section of yellow to create almost like a sun effect, like the sun is trying to stream out of the rainy clouds. So I used lemonade for that, and then I switched over to SEAFOAM. That's going to give me a nice transition between the yellow and the blues that I'm going to add for the sky. This SEAFOAM is a little bit on the greener side, so it blends well with the yellow. And then finally we'll transition to the blues. So first I started with Cadette, that's a nice medium shade of blue, and I transitioned that through SEAFOAM, and I really went into the SEAFOAM quite a bit. That way I really get that blue as the center stage color. Then to add a bit more dramatic color tone here, we're going to switch over to Royal, and I used that around the edges of the card. So we have our rainy scene here, and it looks fantastic. I'm going to accent the raindrops a bit more by using some stenciling and paste. This is Simon Says Stamp's Raindrop Stencil, and I'm going to use some Fallen Snow glitter paste from Brutus Monroe as the paste to apply through this stencil. So it's going to accent the background without taking away from the background design, and I really like that. It kind of makes the raindrops look like they're in the background. So to ground my critters, I am going to use this Grassy Hillside die that I die cut from some Simon Says Stamp 120-pound white cardstock. This is a die from Lawn Fawn. It's one of my favorites, and I use it all the time when I'm making a scene. I'm going to color this with two different greens. I started off with Sprout, and then I moved into Field, and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading to this Grassy Hillside so that way it has a little bit of depth. This is getting popped up along the bottom of my card. I used foam tape for that, and any excess that's hanging off the sides, I'll just go ahead and take my Simon Says Stamp Everyday Scissors to clean that up. These chop through the foam tape really well and give me a nice crisp, clean cut. Alright, so now it's time to start adding our cute little critters. I'm using actually 2 layers of foam tape on these guys because I have foam tape on the grass and I want the critters to be a little bit higher than the grass. So 2 layers of foam tape is what I used to create the dimension for these cuties. And I loved how the placement turned out with the fun umbrellas and then the cute little chicker duck in the middle of the scene. I grounded them a bit more by using a Copic marker just to add a little shading under their feet. Now I wanted to color in those raindrops that are cut out. So I picked out some Simon Says Stamp blue glitter cardstock and I'm going to outline the raindrop area of my background on the back side using some Terrific tape. This is nice strong adhesive that will hold that glitter paper really well. And after I've applied 4 strips of that adhesive around the raindrops, I'll remove the release paper and then take my glitter cardstock, which is just slightly larger than that raindrop area, and lay that into the adhesive. So I did adhere this background onto an A2 size card, and this is a top folding Simon Says Stamp card base. We're almost done, but I did want to add a bit more accents to the scene, so I used some of the little raindrops that are included in the Rainy Days stamp set. I colored them with some blue Copic markers that matched well with my background, and then I glued them down straight onto my card with some craft tacky glue. I decided I wanted my sentiment in the sunny area of that card, so I'm going to create a piece of paper that is the same color of yellow. So I used the lemonade ink and a blending brush to just color in this white cardstock, and then I'm going to stamp my greeting on top of that. So this way I can pop the greeting up on top of my card and it fades in to that background really nicely. I did stamp this twice to make sure I got a really good impression of ink on top of that inked blended background. And there we have it, our cute little scene with this adorable set of critters. I love how this turned out. It's so much fun to see those fun little critters dancing in the rain. I think this would be a great encouragement card to somebody that you know. I hope you enjoyed this project. I always love taking pieces and making a fun little scene out of them. It was always such a blast, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'll be back soon to share more with you all, but until then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.